Question for you. Would you rather have carrots for legs or baked beans come out of your mouth every time you speak? Wow. I didn't see that one coming, I hear you say. But it's a tough question, right? No matter your choice, there will always be positives and negatives. It all boils down to what you are prepared to live with. Accepting compromises, if you will. Now, the real reason for starting with a question like that is there are huge similarities with changing jobs. Whichever way you look at it, these are often hard decisions you have to make. But to put it into context, let me paint you a picture. It's a best and worst case type scenario. I mean, you are looking at a very lucrative job offer. How lucrative, you ask? Very. So lucrative, in fact, that you could finally buy your own home or car, or in fact both. As a quick aside, if you are weighing up whether to buy a house or a car, remember this advice a friend gave me when I was buying my classic sports car. You can sleep in a car, but you can't race a house. Now, this is under no circumstances financial advice, because take it from me, telling your other half you've just talked your way into buying a sports car when you should be saving for a house deposit doesn't go down very well. But hey, you've earned it. The potential purchases, that is, your mind is already racing as to what your house will look like. Does it have a gravel driveway with a white picket fence surrounding it? Your house in the countryside, your dream abode, if you would. But something isn't sitting quite right with you. The job seems just okay. Maybe even a little not okay, but you can't quite put your finger on it because that little niggling feeling just won't go away. But would you really turn down all that money? Let's be honest. Money definitely matters. There's no getting away from that. But I believe there is more to making a job change decision than just, is it more money? When considering a lucrative offer, it is worth bearing in mind why you are leaving in the first place. Now, I'm not here to tell you to leave your job, as I certainly don't know your situation, but I've experienced being the new boy, probably more than most. Put it this way, having been a management consultant and having moved jobs reasonably regularly, I'm well versed in not knowing anyone in the office and having to build new relationships from scratch. Sometimes it's proper shit your pants scary kind of stuff, whilst other times it's a bit more natural. Either way, knowing why you're moving is crucial, as you are the one that is going to have to live with the consequences if you get it wrong. Just like I did at Deloitte. If you're interested in hearing about my story of quitting a very stable job with one of the world's top accountancy firms with nothing to go to, then just click the link here. That's why it's worth bearing in mind these 5 questions. Number 1, is your job encouraging your growth? Leaving a job is a big decision, so I would always encourage someone to see first if there are ways to be able to craft their work or make changes within their current professional environment before moving on. Often, reinvigorating your work can be as simple as seeing it a different way and modifying it in small ways, something often referred to as job crafting. But if you've exhausted that path and can no longer grow in your profession, it might be time to move on. It's also worth having a chat with your boss if you have that open relationship to see if they can do anything about your job at the same time. Number 2, have you achieved all you set out to? Sometimes we simply accomplish what we set out to achieve and are ready to move on to new challenges. This would be one of those moments. Number 3 is about asking, are you actively looking for ways to avoid your job? Sometimes you need to power through something to develop a positive habit. All of us should exercise, for example, but it can be hard to get started. In other times, it is necessary or even best to take a temporary break, or sometimes even a permanent break. At the end of the day, a profession should be something we approach with curiosity and anticipation, not avoidance. Number 4, is it causing you to develop bad habits? When something you look to for purpose, i.e. your job, begins pulling you away from your values, you need to let it go. A simple rule of thumb would be to never let a professional environment change you for the worse. This is particularly true on matters of character. And number 5, do you regularly approach your work with dread? If you regularly feel dread at approaching your work, it is time to seriously consider changing or leaving it behind. Life is too short to do work you hate, quite simply. It can be hard to break that chain that ties you to the office, but I genuinely believe it's worth it. For me though, personally, I have narrowed it down to just 2 questions I ask myself. I've talked about these extensively in the past, but let me recap them here for you. Quite simply, it's 1, have I lost the respect of the people I'm working for? And 2, have I stopped learning? If the answer to one is yes, then it certainly raises an eyebrow. But if both are answered yes, then it sets off some serious alarm bells. There are, of course, other questions you could ask yourself, and I would highly encourage you to do so. I mean, regardless of what they are, making the decision to leave needs to be one you are certainly comfortable with. So you've decided to leave, have secured a job with a large pay increase, and are weighing up your options. The bit that's annoying you is you can't get past the amount they're going to pay you, though. I know it sounds a bit silly, but it's more than you would have earned at your previous job in many, many years. Happy days, you think? Earning more money will be great, but at what cost? This is the question that is often overlooked. Unfortunately, I learned this the hard way because early in my career, I moved just for a pay rise. Even saying that out loud makes me feel a little bit silly, but it's true. I had been working for about a year on a contract basis, working for a large finance transformation. Then one day, my manager announced he was leaving the project to move to another bank. It sounded like a great opportunity for him. I'll be honest though, I was a little envious as it was a role I thought I wanted. So I was even more surprised when a couple of days later I received a phone call asking if I would like to join him. The details he gave was that the role was pretty much doing the same as I'd been doing, but for a few £100 more a day. Yes, a day. Same job for more money? Count me in. It seemed like an obvious choice, to be quite honest, but the problem was it didn't turn out as I had hoped. Yes, it started well and the new environment was exciting for the first few weeks, but that excitement quickly subsided. Yes, I earned more money than I thought possible, paid off my student loan much quicker than expected, and bought a classic sports car. I even got paid every 2 weeks. Happy effing days. But I got bored. Very quickly. Turned out the role wasn't what I expected or had been promised. I mean, the long story short is I ended up booking meeting rooms and taking minutes. As a qualified accountant, this just wasn't my jam. I stuck at it for a year, and this was purely a financial decision. It put me on a better footing, but was quite honestly a horrid experience. My ambition was stifled, my creativity suffered, and I became complacent, almost lazy. So I made a change. It wasn't the right change as it turns out, but I knew something needed to change, good, bad, or indifferent. I even made the decision to take a serious pay cut. This was all with a view of getting back on track with learning new skills and staying technically proficient in the accountancy world. Now, that might not be the right for you, but that's certainly how I learned it for me. Now, it's easy for me to sit here and say, well, just don't take the job just for the money, especially when I have been there and done that. But if you are staring a large pay rise in the face, turning it down can be very hard indeed. Just to reiterate, deciding to take a job for the money is not wrong for everyone, but everyone will have their own motivations. But going into these situations with your eyes wide open is key. Understanding what the role will be more like, and more importantly how you will cope, needs to be seriously considered. To help you weigh up if accepting a job just for the money, here are my 7 reasons to not automatically accept the highest paying job offer you get. Number 1. If it's significantly higher than your market value. I mean, there's no sensible reason for an employer to pay way over the odds than their competitors for talent. If they're paying over market, there's probably a reason. It might be terrible work atmosphere, killer hours, or some other problem, so really be wary. Number 2 is if you don't like or trust the person who will be your boss. This goes for the company's top leadership too. In fact, any of the people you meet during the interview process, if you don't get a good feeling or don't want to work for them based on the vibe they give you, take caution. You're about to sign yourself up to being part of their organisation and may well end up having to take orders from them. Number 3 is if the Glassdoor reviews are overwhelmingly negative. This is a bad sign. Be cautious. Be very cautious. I mean, you could try and speak to ex-employees with both a positive and negative view to try and create your own balanced opinion, but to be honest, Glassdoor is a great objective way of looking at how people perceive a company, so if they're all negative, you should be wary. Number 4, if the only good thing about the job is the money. Now, I know that's the whole point of the video, but the right job offers you value, resume fodder, an exciting and meaty project to work on, great co-workers, and a way to grow your flame. That is to feel like yourself and be able to express yourself. If you can't do that, even though you get paid very well, I was going to say $1 million. If you get paid very well and you can't be yourself, what's the point? Number 5, if you know it will destroy your personal life. If you want to travel 20% of the time, but the high-paying job requires you 100% travel, or you will be so under the cosh that you won't be able to do anything, how will you do anything other than burn yourself out? Then, how will you also job hunt when you're never in town? Number 6 is if the company misleads you at any point in the interview process. Some companies are a little bit naughty when they offer sky-high compensation tied to impossible goals. They will tell you you can earn 6 figures in this job, but when you ask what percentage of your peers actually earn that much, they won't say. So just be careful what you're signing yourself up for. And finally, number 7. If the job does not meet your ethical standards, don't go anywhere near it. If you will not be able to bring your whole self to work, I don't believe it's worth it. Take the moderately priced job and feel good about yourself every day. I mean, that, quite honestly, is priceless. Now, I'm not saying that all highly paying jobs are full of stress or void of enjoyment, but if you continue to move up in a career you don't enjoy, you seriously risk tying yourself into an increasing income and will find it hard to leave for something that pays much less. Even if that something else is the thing you always dreamed of doing and still tugs at your heartstrings. I mean, the simple fact of the matter is once you've started getting used to a comfortable way of living, it's hard to settle for less. Each paycheck you receive tightens the grip on your inability to leave. So when that lucrative offer comes knocking, be ready for it. I mean, you may end up saying yes, and that's not a bad thing, but being open to saying no because there are factors that are more important to you than money is an important step. Consider your lifestyle and your outgoing. If the lucrative offer is the one that you have in front of you, will making some lifestyle changes to support a lesser rise or even a lateral move help you become happier? If the answer is yes, then go for it. Make it happen. I'm pretty certain that if you don't take the job just for the money, your happiness levels will rise, especially if you're unhappy with where you are at the moment. Start with a little and discover what's really important to you, not how much money you want to have. Now, I firmly believe that if you're good at what you do, then the money will come. And that's it. If you like this video, I would highly recommend this one here where I talk about the only career advice I would give my kids, because it ties in massively to this video and I think you'll find it really insightful. But with that, have a great day and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.